Welcome back, YouTube. We're back here again doing another nerd report, and today's nerd report is brought to you by Cellular from Space. So, uh, thank y'all for watching and subscribe to the channel. Hit like on the video and stay for the story. So, today's Cellular from Space story is an update to T-Mobile's progress in their endeavor with SpaceX. So, besides all the things that's been happening on the backside of the mountain with SpaceX and other companies, T-Mobile is still chugging along, and they are still working on their beta program for people to try out their cellular from space. So some independent firms have come out and done some testing. Don't get me wrong. I think that as a YouTuber, I would hope that, people would do some testing in a more traditional way, understanding that there's limitations, but some of the YouTube videos that I saw were more, I hate to say it, it's kind of biased. You maybe T-Mobile is not your favorite carrier, but if you're gonna do some testing and you want to truly give it the go, understand that there's still limitations. I think that what T-Mobile and SpaceX were trying to do is trying to have up to like 1,000+ satellites in coverage, and for the cellular technology. And currently, right now, I think they're up to like 650 satellites. I know it's 1,000+, maybe even more, for cellular from cellular to space. So, some of the YouTube videos were more along the lines of, "Hey, it's not working right away. It's not working how I thought it was going to be. This is a bad idea." But understand it's still in beta. That's kind of how you have to always look at certain things. Even Gmail was in beta for a long time before it became a full-fledged product. But with that being said, so T-Mobile Cellular Starlink service fast enough to get you out of a jam? That's the question. So currently, I would say if you found yourself in some questionable neighborhoods where there was no cell service and their satellite from space service would kick in, you can get off a text message. I know that later on they should be doing voice. From the article, they're estimating that currently, right now, as the service stands, it's about 4 megabits per second. Now, anybody that knows anything about cellular, you can actually cram a lot of voice data, since voice is voice over IP now, you could cram a lot of cell phone talk over 4 megabits. Now remember, all that spectrum that has to cover such a large area is going to have to be shared with a lot of people. Sending text messages really doesn't use a lot of data, but you still want that redundancy. And when they finally do decide to go more voice and data, they're going to need to open up the bandwidth, which from me reading this article, they have not done just yet. So a team of researchers from Spain crowdsourced the data, which crowdsourcing data is always a good sign, and that's what they have estimated it to be, with a lot of the improvements not really totally seen yet. So if you followed the channel, one of the biggest gripes was that T-Mobile and SpaceX were trying to get some leniency on this out of band or out of power limit cellular transmission, and that supposedly would give them a lot more power to deal with, so they can transmit more data. So now that They have that permission. Have they implemented yet? It hasn't been seen by this independent firm yet from what they're talking. But currently, right now, all the testing has been happening between, October 2024 to April of 2025. And the studies are interesting, to say the least. I'm eager to see more. I want to see how much more data they can get through the throughput coming directly from space. We're talking about we're looking at like 600 miles from above your head, and that's direct line of sight. So that's very good. There are other parts of this article that kind of show you in different segments where T-Mobile's supplemental coverage is going to come from, and overlaying SpaceX's data speeds, because that gives you a potential idea about what the coverage is going to look like. And so, like in this diagram right here, you see the different areas where SpaceX does provide coverage and where T-Mobile is going to need to provide coverage for their cellular to space offering. And then this is a progression from December 15th to February 28th. And this one is from March 1st to April 30th. So as you can see, the progression of use has grown, and people are able to document a lot more of it, to give you a better idea about what's going on with the service. If I had the ability to kind of get to a place where T-Mobile cell coverage was lacking, everywhere that I go with, I don't really encounter a lot of bad T-Mobile service. As of late, I think they're still tweaking their voice over 5G. Having a lot of issues with that of late, but not the cellular from space yet. But right here in figure number 3, you got Starlink's measurement counts versus T-Mobile coverage. And so in the Midwest and West is kind of where you want to have that cellular to space coverage at, due to the fact that you got the Rocky Mountains, you got the Rocky Mountain range that goes north and south of the continent, and not a lot of people live in these otherwise sparsely less populated areas. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how these this information is going to start rolling out. I would love to start testing it. I need to go too far out the way to really test that. So I haven't come to that ability just yet. But the crowdsourcing data is always good. It kind of levels the playing field, knowing that it's still beta and they haven't really hit their target amount of satellites in space yet. Not giving any excuses, but the competitors are going to be nipping at the heels and probably be able to operate at a better efficiency and less satellites. So these are the big differences in between the two. You got SpaceX and T-Mobile. Then you also have AST and AT&T/Verizon using AST. AST is perceived to be able to use less satellites because they're using a lower megahertz spectrum to provide cellular from space. This is going to be one of those interesting fights that I'm eager to keep covering. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. It's always good for competition, and that's just from my point of view. But T-Mobile and SpaceX requires more satellites to provide the same coverage. But since SpaceX is already providing said coverage for their Starlink setup, then it's going to be a lot easier for them to provide that coverage. That's kind of how I look at it. But what is your opinion about the matter? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that AST is going to provide a better service? Do you think T-Mobile slash SpaceX is going to provide a better coverage? Uh, what say you? Um, like, share, and subscribe to the video. Let me know down below in the comment section what and how you might feel about this. I'm curious to see what people might be thinking. Thank you, and y'all have a very good one.